Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rikakadash, and double understand those great millstone I love his truth, and also to the whole elect that's scattered abroad. I'd like to say, shalom, and come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of today's lesson is, Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. So I'd like to say shalom to all our listeners learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So that everybody, a lot of mandates are getting ready to come down the pipeline, a lot of unrighteous decrees. And everybody, we're going to look up the word decree first before we get started with the lesson. We're going to look up the word decree and find out what it means. One moment. So when you look up the word decree, it means an official order issued by a legal authority. Let's read that again. Decree, it means, and the meaning of decree means an official order issued by a legal authority. And some examples of decree. The meaning of decree: order, command, mandate. See what else we got? Law, statute, ordinance, rule, injunction, manifesto. Let's see what we have. Another one here. Also, it says a precept. So that everybody, they give you an understanding of what we're talking about. And everybody's there know. So a lot of unrighteous decrees are getting ready to come down the pipeline. So you already know that they have a mandate. We're hearing a mandate about this might be a climate lockdown. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things are coming down the pipeline. And everybody's saying, also they're giving Biden the power to have that universal dictatorship, and everybody, so he can declare what martial law, unrighteous decrees. So a lot of things are coming down the pipeline, and everybody, we knowing that the devil has a very short time, and everybody, all these things are getting ready to come to pass, and everybody, it is at the door. Order out of chaos. All hell can break loose at any given time. In the middle of the Lord, we're constantly warning you. Warning before destruction. And everybody, great dear Lord is fast approaching. And also, Jacob's trouble is right upon us. And everybody, we constantly warning you left and right. And everybody, it is here. It is at the door. So a lot of mandates are getting ready to come down the pipeline. Also, you see that 100-mile enforcement zone. That's an unrighteous decree. Your Fourth Amendment right has been taken. If you stay 100 miles from off the coastal areas, the East Coast, the West Coast, the Gulf of Mexico, so a lot of things are coming down the pipeline. And everybody, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. So a lot of things are getting ready to happen. And out of the middle of the Lord, we're constantly signing crime left and right. So the title of the day's lesson, once again, is Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. So we get started with a few video clips. Then after the video clips, we're going to start the lesson. And I hope that you get edified by the lesson today. So we'll start the first video clip. And here we go.
Okay, so now we're on an accelerated timeline. You see, they're saying that Joke has COVID. Yesterday, Joke said he had cancer. One thing's for sure, Joke is fixing to take a hiatus, okay? He's getting ahead of the dirt nap. He don't want to commit suicide, so he's going to go ahead and let them remove him one way or the other. In the meantime, the VP is not eligible to be the press. That's according to the, the way it's set up. Why did I say that? It's because, she's an anchor baby. All right. Now, having said that, all right, I'm not saying that they won't make her press, but I believe that before that happens, this is accelerated. I believe what they're going to do is even if they make her press, they're going to put Gavin Newsom will be put in, and then with a simple majority from the White House from the House and the Senate, Gavin Newsom becomes the VP. Then Camel Toe is going to go hiatus herself. She's going to do that because she don't want to take a dirt nap either. Once she goes, Gavin will nominate, in my opinion, Stacey Abrams. Now, the rest of the country thinks that this is the little darling. This woman couldn't find her rear end in the dark with both hands. Okay? She may be the only person worse than Newsom. But Gavin Newsom is and will be controlled by the Panazzi. Okay? He don't even breathe in unless she tells him how far she can take it. So you understand that. This is an accelerated timeline. They're moving fast to get this done. Okay? And all of a sudden you will have Gavin Newsom and Stacey Abrams, could be Michelle Obama. Okay? And you can reverse and you can move those around. But Gavin Newsom went to the White House and took a tour while the president was gone. Okay? It went under the wire, and it was low on public. Nobody wanted to know that he was going there. They've already told the joke that the joke is over. They've already told Camel Toe, nobody wants to look at you. And so they're going to get out of the way and allow this to happen, because that way, if they've got them in before the midterms, even if we have the red wave, there's not going to be anybody to impeach. And they will get to finish out their 4 years because they will have put in place the new jesters. Now, you can disagree with me. I could be wrong. I'm not, but I could be. Okay? And listen, I'm not...
Okay.
Okay.
Next
so
one.
Now we're on an accelerated timeline.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is David Thistle. I was hoping not to have to do this, but yesterday the president announced that there was a clear and present danger because of climate change in the United States. And so he's going to give $2 billion to clean energy sources. A few months ago, actually in December, before December, I filed some cases in the federal courthouse down in San Diego. Now, here's the front page of the Colorado case. Okay, folks, I'm just going to let you look at it nice and slow. So if you want to read it later, and I apologize for the notes, but this is just the first page. Okay? I'm going to explain to you what I found. What I found was 6 states in total were altering the Constitution illegally without due process of law to limit ballot candidates for U.S. House of Representatives at the outset of the election by illegally altering Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution of the United States of America. Now, the problem that I have with this is just treason, sedition, and it'll cause insurrection within the United States of America. This is incitement of riots done by 6 governors, no less than 6 governors. The state of Ohio did it. The Secretary of State's office was well aware that they did it. I reported it to the OIG, so the Office of Inspector General should have immediately made an arrest or dismissed the Secretary of State. And because he did not, it's because they're both Republicans. Now, first of all, I'm just going to show you Alabama, right? So it says U.S. House of Representatives. It says requirement 1 day. That is not what the Constitution of the United States says. The Constitution is very clear about this. There is no residency requirement until or upon election. When elected, you have to be physically in the state that you're elected in. That comes from when we fought the British back in 1776. Because George Washington's men were not in the state that they were from, and most of their homes were burnt to the ground. Just watch the TV or the movie with Mel Gibson, The Patriot. Now here's the state of Alaska. And once again, they're requiring you to be a resident of the state of Alaska as a candidate, which is illegal. That's an illegal altering. This comes right from their webpage. The governor and lieutenant governor should be in handcuffs right now, as well as all the other elected officers that are in charge of the elections or appointed officers. Here's another one. This one is from Arkansas. It says, must be...
Okay, have another one. 1 moment. There we go.
Good morning to y'all. This is Taz, guys. Hey, I just want to say that if you guys haven't noticed, they've turned the weather cams off from the East Coast to the West Coast. Guys, there's a false flag coming. We got to stop putting our heads in the sand with this. And I know I got some people that think I'm crazy. It's okay. It's part of it's the nature of the beast. Okay, doing this kind of thing. So, yeah, not everybody's going to believe what the hell I'm saying. I probably wouldn't believe what the hell I'm saying if I was on the other side. But I see what I see, and I hear what I hear. And we have a false flag coming, and it's going to be an inside job. And they're going to blame it on Russia. Who else, right? Everything's blamed on Russia. But I am telling you right now, we're headed for a false flag. It's either going to be Los Angeles or New York City, and my bet be New York City. But why would they have these PSAs of if there's a nuclear bomb that goes off in the city of what to do? And now I hear they have ones where if the lights go out, where to go for AC if it's too hot. So guys, the power's going out too soon. Just get prepared for it, because soon it's all going to happen. So there's nothing to benefit Russia throwing a nuke at the United States. Nothing. And this is not Russia, guys. If it happens, if there is something that goes off in America, it's our own government that's doing it, just like 9/11. But guys, I just thought I'd come over here and tell you, things are going to rapidly happen here soon. So just be prepared for it. And to all my haters, still love you, baby. Keep the hate going. It's okay. It's the nature of the beast with this. So, but somebody's got to put the news out there, because they're not sticking on the fake news. So, and I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody. I'm just stating what I see and what I hear. So, guys, peace out. Be safe. And love your family as tight as you can. Because we got to look out for each other. All of us patriots do. So, if you see something bad, man, come out, put some videos on. I'm still getting used to this, but put some videos out there. But this is another red alert to you guys. So peace out, Taz out. See ya. Freedom, baby, freedom.
One more.
Hello, my freedom-loving Americans. I just read a report about a bill that Adam Schiff's trying to pass through this week and next week. But listen to the dangerous one. It's H.R. 4350. H.R. 4350, basically, it gives Biden power to do martial law, period. And it makes him a true dictator. It says in this bill, he'll be able to launch land, sea, and air operations against the American people. And here's the dangerous part. The bill says that the president will have the sole power over military, and Congress will have no oversight. So basically, whatever that idiot says, which won't be him, now he has COVID, so they're going to hide him. Like I said last night, people, I told you weeks ago, months ago, we're going to see stuff we've never seen before. And I'm telling you right now, they are not going to give away the power they have. We are going to have to take it when they come after us. Stay strong, stay smart, don't break law.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed the video. So there's a lot of unrighteous decrees getting ready to come down the pipeline. And out about the mental law, we constantly sign and cry, let you know the pending danger. So, those decrees, these mandates, these agendas, agenda 2030, Operation Warp Speed, the King Alfred plan. A lot of things are coming down the pipeline. And out of the mental law, we constantly sign and cry left and right. And also the great day of the Lord is fast approaching. And out about the Lord's getting ready to bring that righteous judgment. And out about it, we don't have anything to worry about but trust and believe in Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So we get started with the title of today's lesson. We go to Isaiah chapter 10, and we'll start at verse 1. And it reads, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and woe means destruction, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Let's read that again. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, which they have authorized, which they have ordered. And out about it, we're seeing that, they're getting ready to give Biden that universal dictatorship where he'll be able to do anything, call a climate martial law, a global martial law, this new world order. We're not being to buy or sell. We're not being going another city. All these unrighteous decrees are coming down the pipeline. And out about it, to make you submit to that, to that MOTB, another unrighteous decree. So a lot of things are coming down the line. I deal about it. either you going to choose life or you going to choose death. And everybody's, you know what I'm saying? We seeing that Biden, they said that Biden has been diagnosed with that C-19. And everybody, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. And everybody, we knowing that things are getting ready to break loose. And everybody, you know, this false flag event is getting ready to occur. That PSA in New York, then they have another one, a PSA in California. So something is getting ready to go down. And everybody's, you know, all hell is getting ready to break loose. We know that the economy is crashing, constantly plunging. We know that we're at the end of the dollar. So that everybody, they're going to cause that order out of chaos. They're going to bring total chaos. Then all of a sudden, they're going to come up with this solution, the new world order. Unrighteous decrees, and everybody, you know, they're coming down the pipeline left and right, and everybody, you know, it's time to be aware of your surroundings. It's time to be circumspect, and everybody, because we are here. It is at the door. We're at the end, whether you believe it or not. But a lot of people are still asleep, and everybody, you know, in thy security, you will be caught up in this, and everybody, we constantly warn you left and right. It is at the door, and everybody, it's time to wake up and seek your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So now let's go to Job chapter 14. Job chapter 14. Quick lesson through the Spirit, and I hope that you get edified by the lesson there. Job chapter 14 and verse 5. And it reads, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bound that he cannot pass. So that about the devil knowing that he has a very short time. When you read about that in Revelation chapter 12 and 12. And that about he's getting ready to make his move because he have bounds that he cannot pass, you know, down to the millisecond. And that about that, you know, his rulership is ending. And that about that he's trying to stay in power. And that about that, you know, he's trying to will the birthright back to himself. But the Lord is getting ready to take that sword out of his hand. What he blessed him with, this AI, this technology, this pseudo side. And that about that, now that's what he trusts in. But that about we trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. None of these unrighteous decrees, these mandates, you know, these ordinances, these laws, you know what I'm saying? These orders that they're getting ready to come down, executive orders. And everybody, you know, we seeing that, you know, all these things are going on around the world. The Ezekiel chapter 38 war is getting ready to pop off, the least of the flock. So all hell is getting ready to break loose at any given moment. You can wake up in the morning, all hell, military vehicles everywhere. You know what I'm saying? All sorts of aircraft flying around, bombs dropping everywhere. So that everybody, you know, you must always watch and pray and be so. Ask the Lord to have mercy upon you. So now, let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. One moment. 2 Ezra chapter 9. 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. We'll start at the top. And it reads, say, He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the sign pass which I have told thee before. Verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of all the people in the world. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So that everybody, you know, when you go to Matthew chapter 24, it tell you that, you know, it would be rumors of war, earthquakes in diverse places, uproars of the people, civil unrest, just like now over in Australia, over in China, you know, people, you know, are fighting about trying to get their money out of the banks and everybody, you know, so the new world order has already begun, and everybody that, you know, it's getting ready to come to America. Everything that you're seeing over there is getting ready to come here. And everybody, this is the last piece. And everybody, all hell is getting ready to break loose. And everybody, you know, the Lord has his eyes upon the sinful kingdom. And everybody, all these unrighteous decrees, all this wickedness, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is getting ready to cleanse this place with that fervent heat. And everybody, we constantly warn you left and right. We're seeing all these things are coming down the pipeline. So they could call a climate martial law, you know what I'm saying that, you know, the weather is extremely hot, you know what I'm saying, seeing all those fires over in Europe, you know, also on the west coast of California. You know, we know that all this had been engineered from the left hand side, but the Lord is in perfect control. And everybody, you know, everything is in the power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai hand. So that everybody, we don't have anything to worry about. And everybody, we seeing all of the signs of the time. And everybody, this devil is running out of time. And everybody, he is getting ready to lose his mind. And everybody, it's time to pray, watch and be sober, because we are here. It is at the door. We are living in the last day, real time. So now let's start back up. 2 Ezra chapter 9, and we'll start back up at verse 4 once again. Then shall thou well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and the end is manifest. So the end is getting made clearer and clearer. It's being made obvious. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. We're seeing all these unrighteous decrees, all these different mandates are getting ready to come down the pipeline. We're not big to buy or sell. And out about a lot of people, they're going to force you into your house. And out about, feed you things being idle. These FEMA camps, internment camps. And out about great death, great mourning, great persecution is right upon us. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. And out about it, we constantly warning you left and right. We are here. It is at the door. So now, let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 15. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. It's going off the Spirit. 2 Ezra chapter 15, and we'll start up at verse 14. And it reads, it said, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword in their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So that is about, those are those unrighteous decrees. You know what I'm saying? These mandates, martial law. So a lot of things are coming down the pipeline. And that is about, what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to get caught up because that is about, they don't have the faith. They're not considering. That is about, they turn their back on their true power. And that is about, it will be sedition among men. All hell is getting ready to break loose because of what? The unrighteous decree. So when you don't have any food, no water, things like that getting ready to go down. And that about is that, they're going to tell you that, hey, you must stay in your house. And that about, and a lot of people would not regard the law enforcement, not regard what the government, and that about a nation that is divided, it cannot stand. So it's going to be total chaos. And that about these unrighteous decrees are getting ready to hit that King Alfred plan. You know what I'm saying? Operation Warp Speed. You know what I'm saying? Operation Blue Beam. All these things are coming down the pipeline. And that about, we knowing that they was engineered from the left hand side. So you would not be able to go in another city unless you have that, So that is about that, they're getting ready to restrain your movement, that 100-mile enforcement zone. And also you keep hearing that invading force getting ready to come in here. The UN troops, which in fact are Russia and China troops. We constantly warn you left and right. They down in Panama right now. And that about it, they locking it down. And that about it, the enemy is surrounding us. And that about it, we constantly warn you left and right. And that about it, we are here. It is at the door. So now let's start back up. One moment. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 18. And it reads, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because the lack of bread and great tribulation. So that is about it. You're seeing that the sown places are becoming unsown. And that is about it. We're seeing that the shelves are coming drier and dry. We're seeing that the supply chain line are constantly breaking down. We're seeing all these things that happen. The truck drivers and all these the ones that lease operators, they're constantly losing their job. We're seeing that in the airline, that the pilots, they cannot, operate the planes because, they took that, and that about it, a lot of things are happening. And that about it, these unrighteous decrees are constantly coming upon us. And that about it, we constantly warn you left and right. So the enemy is getting ready to come in like a flood, but the Lord is also getting ready to lift up that standard. That supernatural intervention is getting ready to come into play. And that about it, the Lord is getting ready to help us. And you can read about that in Daniel chapter 12. In verse 1, it'll tell you about the archangel Michael going to stand up for the children of Israel. Whoo, we cannot wait. So now let's get another quick precept. Let's go to Luke chapter 19. Get another quick precept, a little bit more edification. Luke chapter 19, one moment. Luke chapter 19, one moment. Luke chapter 19 and verse 43. And it reads, for the days shall come upon thee that thy enemies shall cast a trench around thee and compass thee round and keep thee on every side. Verse 44. And shall lay thee even with the ground and thy children with thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. So that about a lot of people are not considered. So we knowing that this happened in 70 AD, but there is nothing new under the sun. And that about they constantly what? They got that great multitude kindled around us, that 100-mile enforcement zone. And also they have Russia and China troops in Panama. They also said it was rumors that they was in up in Canada, and also in the Texas and Mexican border. So they are surrounding us. Also the East Coast and also the West Coast. And that about it, you know what I'm saying? And that about if the Lord is not dealing with you, you will be totally destroyed. So that about great death and great mourning is right upon us. And that about if you don't see the signs of the time, that you are blind, you have a strong delusion, and you're going to be destroyed on the side. And that about that we constantly want, we right upon judgment. So now let's start back up. Let's go to one moment. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30. And we'll start at verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 6. One moment. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 6. We'll start here. And it reads, Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Verse 7, At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So that everybody, you know, that time of trouble come. A lot of people are going to be travailing like a woman with child. A lot of people are going to be faint-hearted. A lot of people are going to be in despair and vexation of spirit because they did not seek the Lord. The Lord said they shall seek me early, but they shall not find. And we read upon that time. These unrighteous decrees are coming down the pipeline, left and right. That universal dictatorship. And that about that will give him power to do just about anything. And that about they're getting ready to try to come in and slaughter the children of Israel, the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Americans, the Mexicans. I'm talking to you. It is time to seek your true power. And that about because we have run out of time. And that about our salvation is very close. Then we yet believe. And that about we constantly warning you left and right. So now let's go to one moment. Let's go to Daniel chapter 12 and verse 10. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Daniel chapter 12. One moment. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 10. One moment. And it reads, Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And the wise is the elect, the prophet, the true believers of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh. We seeing that they're getting ready to come with these unrighteous decrees. We seeing that the new world order is come. We seeing that the Ezekiel chapter 38 war is come. The least of the flock shall bring them out. And Bible prophets are locking up like clockwork. And that about the Lord's word is not returned to him void. And also the end is being manifest left and right. It is being clearer and clearer. And it's being made obvious through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh. And also the wicked would do wickedly. And that about we constantly warn you left and right. A lot of people are still talking about getting married, talking about traveling, talking about, you know, building, constantly investing. And that about this place has fallen. This place is finished. And that about you're in for a rude awakening. And that about if you love it here, you're getting ready to die here. So now let's go to one moment. Let's get a quick precept. Let's go to Sirach chapter 5. One moment. Sirach chapter 5. One moment. Sirach chapter 5 and verse 7. Sirach chapter 5 and verse 7. And it reads, it said, Make no terror to turn to the Lord. Put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. In thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. And that about we read upon the great day of the Lord. And that about we read upon Jacob's trouble. At the beginning was sorrow. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly sighing and crying left and right. Woe to them that decree, unrighteous decree. And that about they coming down the pipeline left and right. We seeing it all over the place. You know, the stage is set. And that about it. That either you seek your true power or you get ready to die. So now, let's start back up one moment. And so a lot of people are relaxing, you know, constantly in their comfort zone, still thinking that they're a good case. And that about in the great day of the Lord is fast approach. The Lord said, I will come like a thief in the night. You must always be watching, always be praying, and constantly what? Sighing and crying left and right, and staying on fire for Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh. He is the only way. He is the only answer. And everybody, you know, we asking the Lord, how long, oh Lord? We're ready to get out of here, get back in our first estate, immortality, rulership, spiritual power. We cannot wait. Woo! So woe to them that decree, unrighteous decree, and everybody that, you know what I'm saying, they have bounds that they cannot pass. We knowing that he's getting ready to come down with a great wrath, the so-called white man that the devil speaks of, and everybody that he's finished, and everybody, it is time for him to pay. The Lord said, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So judgment is right upon us. So now, let's get one more quick precept before we close out. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 26. One moment. Isaiah chapter 26. One moment. Isaiah chapter 26. One moment. Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 21. And it reads, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. So that everybody, we're at the end of our affliction, and the Lord is getting ready to bring that righteous judgment. And everybody, what was done to us is getting ready to be done to them. The heathen nation, also the 2/3, the one that turned their back on Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that rebellious house that did not want to return. And everybody, we read upon judgment. And everybody, all of the signs of the times are here. And everybody, we are here. It is at the door. Out of you will hear, or out of you will forbear. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to Job chapter 20. One moment. Job chapter 20. One moment. Job chapter 20. One moment. Job chapter 20, and we'll start up at verse 22. Job chapter 20 and verse 22. And it reads, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So that everybody, we seeing that, you know, Babylon the Great is finished. And everybody, we seeing that every hand of the wicked is getting ready to turn on Esau, even the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's in the fullness of his sufficiency. So he's in the fullness of his what? Of his rulership. And the Lord's getting ready to take him down. He's knowing that his time is up. And everybody, he's constantly scrambling left and right. And everybody, we seeing these brick nation are turning it back. We seeing that everybody turning it back on the U.S. dollar. We seeing that everybody that is closing their business down and leaving America. So that everybody, this place is drying up. Society is constantly breaking down. And everybody, the Lord is breaking this place down brick by brick. And everybody, we seeing that America is constantly collapsing right before our eyes. And everybody, they shall hate the whore. And everybody, he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. And the Lord's getting ready to return and take him out of rulership. Woo, we cannot wait. So now, let's start back up at Job chapter 20, and we'll start back up at verse, at verse 23. Job chapter 20 and verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So that everybody, he is setting it up right now. These unrighteous decree. We're seeing this universal dictatorship. We're seeing this 100-mile enforcement zone. We're seeing that he's constantly trying to put you in a choke with these mandates, martial law. You know what I'm saying? You would not be able to buy or sell unless you take, you know what, and everybody, you know, anyone that consent will be totally destroyed. So Revelation chapter 13 is jumping off the page. And everybody, you know, we are here. Rumors of wars are all over the place. And everybody, these unrighteous decrees are getting ready to come down the pipeline. And everybody, the devil's getting ready to fill his belly. And everybody, you know, it's time to what? It's time to ask the Lord to have mercy upon you. Ask the Lord to say, Lord, how long, oh Lord? You know, to deliver us in these times of trouble. We cannot wait. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 14. We get ready to close out. 2nd Ezra chapter 14, and we'll start up at verse 13. And it reads, now therefore set thy house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Verse 14, let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. Verse 15, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Verse 16, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So the evils are constantly growing. So it's time to get in the right mindset. It's time to seek your true power. Don't lean on your own standing, but trust and believe in Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Take off the mortal thought. put off that weak nature. And out about it, you know, it's time to gird up your Lord. And out about all hell is getting ready to break loose in the middle of the Lord. We constantly sighing and crying left and right. We are here. It is at the door. Jacob's trouble. It is here, a time that we have never seen before. But the Lord said, for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. Woo! So rejoice ye heaven. So now, let's go to our last and final strip. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 10. One moment. Hebrews chapter 10. And we'll start at verse 36. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 36. We'll close out here. And it reads, for ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, ye might receive the promise. Verse 37, for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. Let's read that again. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 37. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. So that about it, the Lord is getting ready to come, and he is not tarrying. It is speaking loud and clear. All the Bible prophecies are constantly lining up like clockwork. And that about we're at the end of our affliction. The Lord is getting ready to put us back in our first estate, immortality, rulership, spiritual power. All our enemies is getting ready to be laid down. And that about we cannot wait. So rejoice ye heaven. So the title of the day's lesson once again is woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikakadash. And I like to say, Shalom.